Hey everybody, how's it going? Well, Michigan decided to be Michigan and dump about 8 inches of snow on us the other day. And gonna do some other projects around the yard, like put a drive shaft in the 95, maybe work on the minivan over here. But it's wet, gross out. Minivan. But I think today we're gonna put some fender flares on the old Prius. We lifted it in a previous video, and you can see we're throwing a lot of dirt up on the side of the car, and had some fender flares floating around for a while. Can't remember what I got them for. They might have been for the smart car or something, but figured we could put them on the Prius, not let them go to waste. So show you us doing that real quick. Shouldn't be too bad. Famous last words, right? This Prius has been a real trooper through everything. We've had it for a few years, put a bunch of miles on it, and like I said, we lifted it in a previous episode. You can kind of scroll back. We got a lift kit from Prius Off-Road and put some oversized tires on it. So these tires here are about 2 sizes larger than factory, and they stick out a little bit farther, and they throw up a lot of mud and dirt on the side of the car, and it's actually ripped part of the wheel liner down on the inside there, so I need to kind of work with that a little bit to trim that back. But got these universal fit fender flares here, and I was thinking about putting them on the car, maybe figure this out a little bit better. Yeah, it works pretty good right there. Can kind of bend them slightly. Well, just act as a little bit of mud protection on the car. Got a set for the back too, so I'm gonna try to find my tripod and get this set up here. All right, so we got some nice self-tapping screws. They're 3/4 inch long, and we're gonna use those to put the fender flares on the car. They'll drill the plastic flare out so it doesn't crack it, and hold it to the car pretty good. Not really too worried about the car getting damaged. There's a bunch of rust actually down here in this rocker panel, and on the other side it's actually worse. So we're just mostly going to try to keep the doors clean by putting these flares on and give it a little bit more of a, different look, I guess. So normally you want to measure this properly, but I don't do that. I just screw and go. So we're going to try that and see how that works out for us today. This is a front one. We got a front flare. And then the rear flare, you can tell, is quite a lot larger. So that's going to go obviously on the back. And the front one actually fits pretty decent from about here over. So we're just going to put that on. And the flares do bend a little bit to kind of do your shape. So I'm gonna go down about 1 inch or so here on the front bumper. Gonna make sure we're actually screwing into the metal and not the gap between the bumper and the car. So we're gonna call right about here good. And struggle to open your screws. It's always good. Alright, got one screw in. We can position our rear part of the flare, because you don't want to screw this way and then have your flare up on the car the wrong way. So we'll call right here good. There we go. As you can see, the back bumper is already held on by some screws. It's car was in an accident and it actually has a salvage title, so not really hurting anything. There's a nice rust hole here. I think it's Bondo or something in there. So see how these rear flares fit. Kind of want to go as far down as I can go in here and kind of stay away from the door. So we'll use the dirt actually to help us mark where we're going to be. So let's go right here, because then we can kind of screw it in safely there. If I was smart, I would have pre-drilled a hole in this flare before I started on this one. All right, so we got one screw in, and we'll get a screw in back here on the back portion, and then screw the remainders in. That's pretty good right there. So now I've kind of changed the look of the car a little bit. The back's flared a little bit more than I'd like, but hey. For a free set of fender flares I had just laying around, it works out. Ooh, that is pretty flary. Oh well. Maybe it'll keep the back end from getting dirty. Oh yeah, it's the Prius. Go check out Bearded Wrencher's channel here on YouTube. The reason the rear bumper's a little dirty like that is we might or might not have used the Prius as a push bar to push one of his project cars, actually one of our old project cars, into his garage. Stomper, the 1984 Tercel. Luke's actually working on getting it running and going to be his new winter beater while he works on his original Tercel Spud. So yeah, should be pretty cool. Interesting build, you know. It was one of our cars and we lifted it and did a bunch of goofy stuff with it, and then unfortunately just couldn't keep going on with it, and Luke wanted it, so Luke has it now. So we'll get the driver's side done and see what other cool things we can put on the Prius, you know, because it's a Prius. Why not? So on the Prius here, I got this trim. It's broken. If anybody's got experience with getting these things back on or finding them on eBay or a cheap alternative, let me know, because darn thing keeps ripping off, and I'm about 2 seconds away from self-tapping screwing that thing on too, like the fender flares. Some reflective tape I used on the front. We got Gorilla tape on the other side, you know, keeping it classy. But I got something sitting in the shed that could go on the car. Let me go grab it and see what you guys think. So I've had some stuff sitting around from the lifted smart car build that I never used. And, you know, the Prius is lifted. We got the fender flares on it that were for the smart car. Roof basket? I don't know. Seems like I've been using this thing as a truck more than the Suburban is being used as a truck. And the Suburban's going to be down for the summer. Getting the engine and transmission pulled out of it to go in the 2001 we picked up a few weeks ago. And, you know, it's kind of a pain in the butt taking the car seat out of the car every time I want to haul something big inside the car. So a couple bolts we could put the roof basket on and essentially be like hauling, you know, stuff in the car but on the roof. So, you know, maybe doesn't look half bad. I'm gonna cut down a little bit on fuel, but hey, we're still getting 35, 40 miles to the gallon. Speaking of which, I do need to do spark plugs in this thing because it is drinking a lot of gas lately. And yeah, I know it's lifted and it's winter, but still, we were getting 40 miles to the gallon a couple weeks ago, and now we're not. And I'm not doing a lot of idling with it either, so the drop in fuel kind of is alarming, but it's due for an oil change, so we're gonna have to do that, do some plugs in it. Plugs are a cheap assurance, we can get some better mileage, I guess. But yeah, got our flares on there for right now, so that's good. Block some of that mud, so I'm gonna wash the car here this week at some point, and we'll see how much less mud we have down the side now. All right, so thanks for watching the video. Might put the roof basket on the Prius, might not. I really honestly don't know. Like I said, it'd be kind of nice to have that on the roof to put stuff inside, or on the roof basket, since I'm hauling a lot of bigger stuff, it seems, all the time from work, or dropping things off all the time. So might put it on, might not, but got the flares on. We'll run it here through the car wash this week, get it cleaned up, and see how much less mud we have down the side of the car. So stay tuned for more Prius things we're going to be doing, and hopefully this summer we can start doing stuff with the Suburban and the diesel Chevette. So thanks for watching, and you guys have a good one.